Hey, what's going on, everybody? ScottDogGaming here. Thank you very much for joining us. As you can see, we are back. We're playing some Football Manager 2015. We're up against Buxton, who are currently near the very bottom of the league. We're sitting in mid-table. We're in a reasonable spell of form. We need to do more, though. We need to keep going, keep pushing on, and let's get started with this one now. You may have noticed over the last few episodes, last few days, we have had a vote ongoing, and it's still ongoing about what we do on the release of 2016 Football Manager. So ideally, I would like you guys to have your say. The link for the vote for the Football Manager Extreme mode can be found in the description below. Please click it and just cast your vote. Let us know what you want to see. Does this continue, or do we go on to a new series? So with that bit out of the way, let's carry on. Half an hour gone. I'll tell you what I will say about this is we have been playing some very dull games recently. Although we won 3-1 last time out, it was a good first half. Nothing happened in the second. Game before that was 0-0, and absolutely nothing happened. So it's been a little bit dull, I have to say. If you're an Ipswich Wanderers fan, you're probably happy with the position. Not so happy with what you're paying to go see. But the burgers are good, so it's fine. Ooh. Interestingly, as a youngster, I used to go and watch Ipswich Wanderers. I'm sure I spoke about this very early on in the season, or in the series. But yeah, I used to go down to Humberdoose Lane every other Saturday and watch and play football over there and eat burgers. It's a nice little football club. I haven't been for a long time actually, but yeah, it's a nice little ground. It needs some work, but I'm sure they've done some stuff to it since the last time I went. But it's in a great little location actually, and oh good lord, what a strike! And actually, Ipswich Town own quite a lot of training pitches, etc. in the same area. So it's quite interesting, and it's in quite a small little part of Ipswich, but you can quite often see quite a lot of the footballers driving in and around that area because of their heading to training, etc. So it's quite an interesting little setup they've got there. Okay, and this isn't going so well. We need someone to step it up. We definitely don't want to get sucked into this relegation fight by losing to the team second bottom. And I have to say, I think our boys have got cocky. There's Mullen. There's Townsend. He's trying to get into the box. There's Dyer. He scored. Get in, Dyer. We're back on terms. A little bit fortunate with the goal, but Mullen found Townsend. Townsend's touch was sort of heavy, and then it bobbled just perfectly to Dyer, whose shot was straight at the keeper. Keeper should have done better. But we are back level. Straight in the second half. Good time to score. Batchford with the header. There's Carter. Don't know what he was doing. They're in behind us. They've scored again. Way too easy, that. Way too easy. Lawrence blasts it over. We need something big. We need something, boys. We're as attacking as we can be. Need to get back on level terms. We're not going to do that unless we have a chance. Barber. Townsend. Beats his man, gets the cross in. It's deep, it's over the bar. That isn't good. And that should be it, I would imagine. Mullen picks it up. There's Austin. Austin needs to pass the ball to our team. We've got a corner. Not sure why he played the ball out there, but we'll take it. There's the cross. Austin couldn't get there. Mullen is going to. Need to get it forward. There's the ball in. There's Lawrence. It's the header. It's saved. Try to just lift it over the keeper there. And we've got a minute to get back on terms. Barber picks it up and finds Townsend. Townsend running at his man. Finds Austin. Austin tries to get the crossing. Back to Barber. Barber loses it. We have lost it. And always a little bit concerned when he has the ball facing his own goal. And that is it. Game over. We've lost to a team near the bottom of the league. That's going to be some shouting, I would imagine. And that is going to suck us back into a relegation fight. Great. Okay. What's next then? 5 games and then a loss. That's normally the way we do it. Okay. Boston away coming up next on Saturday. Let's just reject these. And reject that. FA Cup 6-round draw. I don't think we need to be too interested in that. Did have an opportunity of an interview with FC United come up in between episodes. I rejected that, obviously. Okay, and we're getting close to Boston away. So I'm a Liverpool fan actually. One of the things some of you may know or may not know, I'm a Liverpool fan. I don't know why. I've always been a Liverpool fan. I've never really been to Liverpool other than to watch Liverpool. I don't know why it happened. All of the rest of my family are Ipswich fans because that's where I'm from. I presume when I was growing up, Liverpool were good, and that was the reason. If I'm honest, I don't mind admitting that. But now we're not so good. I'm still a Liverpool fan, and I'm quite pleased with the appointment of Klopp. I'm looking forward to see how he does. I feel a bit for Rodgers, but at the same time, I feel like he just got to the point where he wasn't quite sure what his best team was, and then he was too busy trying to fill gaps rather than actually just thinking, you know what, I'm going to play my best players in their best positions and see how we go. It always felt like he was trying to accommodate something. And if I'm really honest, it always felt like he thought he was just, it felt to me like he thought he was just a little bit cleverer than everyone else. And you know, I'm not convinced tactically he was that astute. But, you know, I'm disappointed he's gone because I'd like to have seen some stability. Same time, a lot of money's been spent and we're down again. A lot of money's been spent and no real improvement. It's difficult when you lose your best player and then your other striker who scored a fair amount of goals the season before last is then out for a whole season. I get that's all tough. But when you spend the money you've spent, you need to find replacements, and he hasn't really found that. You know, and the best player we've got by a long chalk is Coutinho, and he's been with us for a fair few years and has always been looking like being our best player. You know, there's no one on the pitch when the ball goes to maybe Lallana that you think they can make something happen unless Sturridge is back playing. But Klopp, back to the point. I was watching the press conference with Klopp, and I quite liked it because he seems like a fairly genuine guy. He was, you know, I appreciated that he was being quite honest. Now, I then took a look at one of the videos on YouTube about Klopp's best bits, and there's a bit where he's sitting there after a Champions League game with Dortmund, and he's talking. I don't know how we're only 1-0 down here. He's talking about the game, and there's a Russian interpreter, sitting beside him, and every time Klopp gets to the end of the sentence, the interpreter starts talking. Now, normally in those press conferences, what happens is that they wait for the manager to finish talking, then they do the interpretation. And you can see Klopp is getting more and more annoyed by it. And by the end of the press conference, Klopp is saying, and obviously we are more prepared for this, the Champions League than the interpreter, who clearly hasn't done any preparation for this, and it is quite funny. So if you get the chance, go and search Klopp's best bits and just check out him making the interpreter say the things that he's saying about the interpreter is quite funny, I have to say. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can bring. I think. Oh, come on! Who is this chalk man, and why does he keep scoring against me? And only me. So this isn't going well. I don't really have anything to change this with. We're just not very good at this moment in time. Our good form has come to an end, and our bad form has well and truly begun. Where are Boston? There they are, up in 7th. I don't think we've got anything we can do here. We just look crap. All of our strikers are awful. Let's get Mullen on in there, I suppose. Let's get Dyer on in there, and let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to see what happens. I think as a Liverpool fan, and hopefully this goes for most Liverpool fans, they understand that it's going to take time, and that time is given. I think Rodgers was given time to a point, but I don't think some of the fans ever really got fully behind him. And I think that was where the problem is. What I would say is, from watching some games of late, I mean, I don't get the chance to go very often, but from watching some games of late, Anfield seemed very, very quiet. And I hope that, for goodness sake, I hope that Klopp can bring that feel-good factor back first of all. And what he was saying in the conference is that he wants people to believe and have hope, and I think that was missing, and I think he's right. And hopefully the fans can get behind the players and behind Klopp, and things can move forward. And maybe in the summer, probably not January, but in the summer, trim the squad down to the best players, and then bring in players that are going to also improve the team. I think we've brought a lot of players that don't necessarily improve us. People like Markovic, who's now on loan. We've got a lot of players coming in who don't necessarily make us a better team. Lovren is obviously been a very, very big disappointment for the money spent on him. The other good thing to hear him say was that to be a confident team, you need to be confident in your defence, and that's what he's going to work on first. So I'm pleased to hear that, because Rodgers seemed to just decide that actually it wasn't really that important to go out and buy a centre-half, even when Lovren had a terrible season and doesn't look like improving a great deal. We didn't go out and spend any money. We've got Skirtle and Sacco, who I think on their day can do all right, but I think they are capable of making a pig's ear of it at times. But then most defenders are capable of doing that. Hey, Geld and Heiss. So I'm looking forward to the new start, I think I'd call it, and I think that's what Klopp called it. Oh come on, there was nothing wrong with that. And fingers crossed, it's a turning over a new leaf. Let me know in the comment section what you think of the appointment of Klopp. I'd like to hear about that if you have any feelings on it. Sorry, I rambled on for a good half an hour there. I do apologise. We have just been well and truly beaten. And the board want me to tell them that they played okay. Tell them they were crap. And there we go, 6 points away from that relegation battle. And goal difference that's very, very poor. Okay. Next up, Tividale. Tividale? Is that a thing? Is that a place? Okay, well, we're going to find out. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button, subscribe button, follow us on Twitter at ScottDogGaming. As I said at the start of the episode, before I started babbling on, link in the description for the vote for this series and what happens next. Please cast your vote, because I want to do my best for everybody who watches the series. And obviously, the only way to do that fairly is to have a vote. So, obviously, if the series stops and you haven't voted, there was the chance there. So, check that out. Check out the channel as well, and we will see you again soon. Thank you.